Welcome to Facebook for the Blind, your look at the downfall of Western civilization through the best memes we can find each week. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the week we like to celebrate Facebook for the Blind, a show for the visually and Facebook impaired. I am your never humble host, Eric Sizemore, joined by my beautiful co-host from South Canada, Quiet Michael.
Hey, Eric, like the algorithm.
Oh, awesome. Reminding us all to subscribe and smash that like button. Give us all your money. And dialing in from the left coast, Brain Damage. Quiet Brain Damage. Awesome. We are having a crossover episode beyond my wildest dreams. Okay, excellent. They are going to have some very funny memes for you. But first, a patented, trademark, copyrighted part of every single episode of Facebook for the Blind. You know it. You love it. It's where I recap the great music that we played. Listen to some the Hollies. Got to introduce to the Undisputed Truth. I'm particularly stunned that UFOs is not in heavy rotation right now, given all the New Jersey drones and whatnot. But happy to help out. In other news today, we get to get to the theme. Damn it, I always forget about the theme song. Yeah, that's right. Depressing news. Today, the big news was that Pete Hegseth's views on women in combat, infidelity, and a whole bunch of other crap came out in his well, you know, in the long list of people they're stuffing into the clown car. I mean, Trump's cabinet. I was just wondering, actually, and TD and Michael, if you'd like to weigh in, but Pete Hegseth, a Fox News talking head with arguably Nazi tattoos, taking over as Secretary of Defense.
I'm against it, Eric.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I think it's like for anybody who's been in the military, it's like if your least favorite blowhard NCO became Secretary of Defense.
Agreed. Crazy stuff. Los Angeles wildfires dominating the news all over the place. Even I mean, because there's crazy potential for even more insanity. Everybody's saying there might be a peace deal with Israel and Hamas. But you know, we've heard that every week for about 82 weeks, something like that. Oh, one crazy thing on the LA fires, though. Did you hear that Ukraine offered to send us 150 firemen? They joined the Mexican firemen, the Cuban firemen, the Canadian firemen, all the firemen from all over the world that have come to help out. There's some really crazy Republican on Republican violence going on. That ugly little guy that wears too many clothes, Steve Bannon, has been spiraling after Bush snubs Trump at the Jimmy Carter funeral. So he's trying to gin up as much attention as possible. Germany is accusing our enemy of the show and member of the Legion of Doom, Musk. Germany has accused him of trying to influence their election by backing the far-right AfD. Now, in other parts of the world, they just say Nazis. So there's that, but maybe the Germans will actually stomp on him a little bit. Friend of the show, Joe Kleinschmidt over in Anti-QAnon Memes lets us know that landlords are now seizing their opportunity to profit from catastrophe by increasing rents on properties 15 to 20% overnight. Many places just, you know, slammed at the showings with, yeah, the rent's gone up by $3,000 a month. Deal with it. People are taking advantage of it. So if you've been hearing about looting in LA, here it is. So a very interesting piece of how the New York Times is manufacturing consent for U.S. intervention in Mexico. And this was kind of fascinating, just all kinds of little leads, and little stories about this type of stuff. And uh season 2 of Lioness, whatever season 2 is called, apparently is also about sending illegal, sending special ops behind the lines in Mexico to take out evil drug dealers. Now, of course, this is all in light of the tangerine toddler who's allegedly going to take office soon, saying that he wanted to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and also, whatever, make Canada 51st state, whatever. And the president of Mexico, Claudia Scheinbaum, just said, if you look at a map, since 1607, this entire area, and it's like, dude, it's from the Virginias to Florida to Texas to California, all the way up the coast, was Americana Mexicana. And she's like, that's got a great ring to it, doesn't it? America Mexicana. from sea to shining sea. Anyway, I thought it was a pretty good clapback, actually. And there was some really weird coverage of this Mexican president where people disliked her. People wanted you to dislike her. And then, it was like, oh, it doesn't bode well for Mexican politics because she resembles, horrible images. Because I think she said that, I don't know, Palestinians are people or something like that. She said she like others of Jewish origin share a love of Mexico, but feel like a citizen of the world and share with millions a desire for justice, equality, fraternity, and peace. Therefore, I can only see with horror the images of state bombings. And the press was like, oh boy, man, that sounds like a left-wing activist. So anyway, the press is big mad at Claudia Scheinbaum. And we're supposed to dislike her. This was a crazy perspective map that I saw of the Palisades fire, and this is a week old, so it's already small, with the Great Chicago Fire superimposed here. 2,100 acres for the Chicago Fire versus 17,000 acres for the Palisades Fire. And I got to tell you what, a lot of acquaintances of mine on Facebook, in response to things about the Palisades Fire, said horrible, stupid crap. Horrible, stupid crap. And I had to correct people left and right. It was absolutely insane. Friend of the show, Jeffrey St. Clair, who has shared this nightmare scenario. Apparently, forecasters warn that the next 3 days, wind gusts in Southern California could exceed those that caused the Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst fires, and may spread rapidly with gusts of 90 to 120 kilometers per miles per hour, possible in the suburbs of Ventura and Santa Clarita. So, anyway, I'm very concerned, and my thoughts are with the people that are going to be impacted by the Santa Ana winds. Reassuringly, though, Mike Brennan tells us it's all caused by DEI. So pretty soon they'll take care of that. Here's a weird one. The Pizzagate gunman. You remember the Pizzagate gunman? The guy who walked into the ping pong pizza place and fired off his rifle and stuff? Yeah, he was shot by cops at a traffic stop in North Carolina. How weird is that? I don't know what to make of this story. I have no idea how to feel about this. Sad, but wow, I don't know. Shooters getting shot. This is a new segment of the show I want to call Science News That Will Make Michael Upset.
Not hard to do, Eric.
The Large Hadron Collider has found the heaviest antimatter particle yet. So, yeah. Hyperhelium-4, baby. Hyperhelium-4. Anyway. Did you guys happen to catch that comedian Tim Dillon played the ghost of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in a Netflix roast?
Yeah.
Just 3 weeks. Like, and I gotta tell you, I watched it because I admire his balls, is why. Like,
How'd you see his balls?
because you know what? Just the fact that you would dare to talk about it that soon is I have the greatest of admiration for that. So, because if we America values balls over smarts every day. It's a better spectacle. What can I say? Anyway, it was a baller move. I thought it was fantastic. Wrapped in chains like the ghosts, Marley. Um, Friend of the show, Stephen Abram, has said that the share of U.S. kindergartners vaccinated against measles and polio and whooping cough has taken a bit of a dive from 95% down to 92%. But you remember back in the days when they were talking to us about herd immunity and all that stuff? Much better when it's 95%. So I blame Gwyneth Paltrow. Was she the one? I don't know. Until further notice, you're guilty until presumed innocent. But for now, I thought this was interesting. The New York Times was trying to figure out, the overlap of all the nominees that are being stuffed into the Trump cabinet clown car. And the red line here is all the dudes that had a hand in the Project 25, America First, stuff. The green line is for all the people who paid money to hold events at Mar-a-Lago to sell crap coin or crypto, or I don't know what these people do when they get together. I don't know, to compare facelift horror stories. I'm not sure, but and also then you've got the big blue, teal color here for the Fox News hosts and contributors. And I thought that was pretty interesting that the who was this again? Oh yeah, the New York Times had bothered to try and figure out what they had in common. But friend of the show, Kat Abu, also figured it out and made a Venn diagram that I didn't get a chance to screen cap. But all of them are alleged sex abusers, alleged animal abusers. Remember Christy Nome shot her dog? Like, apparently they all have. And then they all have these connections to Fox News. It's even tighter than that. She had this dense Venn diagram, and she was like, I shouldn't be able to do this. And it was like, wow. Anyway, horrible people hanging out. We usually like to close out the news segment with a heartwarming animal story, but don't have one. So dozens of bald eagles have died from bird flu. Did you see this? Our Hinsdale, Illinois bald eagles have been dying of bird flu. And it's just such an apt symbol of the United States in 2025 that I had to share. So the bald eagle, you remember the Muppet? What was it, Sam? Sam on the Muppet Show, bald eagle. Yeah, he's dead now. And that is the end of the news from Facebook for the Blind for January 14th, 2025. Now hanging it off to my beautiful co-host, Quiet Michael.
Yeah, Quiet Michael has got to switch machines.
Okay.
Kicking it over to brain damage.
Oh shit.
That's my line.
All right, where are we at?
Also my line.
There we go.
Round one.
Let's start it off then. Quiet Michael had to switch machine, so we're gonna start. And we have the gamer saying, "Come on, CJ." I shouldn't have read that yet. Here we have somewhat of a four panel. I don't know why all of a sudden my screen won't scroll in. But here we have a blue car with white smoke coming out the back. It says white smoke, coolant leakage into combustion chambers. Yellow car with blue smoke, your engine is burning oil. Red car with black smoke, your engine fuel mixture is too high. And then all of a sudden we have from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, big smoke. You just gotta follow that train, CJ. And if you play that game, you will want to headbutt Big Smoke right about now. Here we got what the hell is going on? All of a sudden, I can't scroll in anymore. This fucking sucks. I wonder if it's like this. Nope, even this doesn't work. All right.
Whoa.
We're doing everything in small mode.
Dude, you're in an image browser instead of a Chrome. Did you know that?
I don't know what that means.
You're like in some kind of image viewer instead of like Chrome. I don't know
Can you
what.
see my thing right? Oh,
Oh, I
that
can
didn't
totally
sound
see
right.
it. Yep.
All right, we're just gonna go through this round and then I'll try to fix it in between. I don't know what I didn't change anything different as far as I know.
Oh, good, man.
But
You're making me feel better, and I know why you're doing it. So thank you.
yeah, here we have somebody in Toy Photo Network. Mark Roberts puts one of his simplest photos. Apparently he likes playing with toys and making photos. Here we have a action figure of Ryu on a joystick and stomping on the buttons, and an action figure of Ken holding the joystick and stomping on the buttons of an actual arcade where they are playing Ryu versus Ken Street Fighter. And it is freaking awesome. I don't care what any of y'all say. Yes, this round is just for me. We'll keep going with the game rants. It says nobody. Bookshelves in video games. And it is just a bookshelf with like hella empty, but a book here and there, maybe a random tool like some pliers, the hammer at the bottom, a gun, and probably some ammo somewhere, and then probably some health. That's how games do.
Mm.
And then we have geek.net says how baseball players play duck hunt. And here we have a photo of pitcher Randy Johnson and a picture of Duck Hunt. And if you know Randy Johnson, he once threw a fastball and some kind of bird, I think it was a pigeon, happened to be flying by at the exact same time, and that fastball exploded that pigeon.
Even I knew about that one. I saw that one.
Mm-hmm. I think this might be the last one that I'm tiring you guys out for gaming memes. We got Gaming Layer with the number one rule of every waterfall has to be loot. It's the law. And it says gamers when there's a chest behind the waterfall. And it shows Squidward saying, how original. And then it says gamers when there is not a chest behind the waterfall. And it's some kind of wet cat like, the fuck is this? That is completely true. This one is because Eric, I need you to tell me if this is true or not.
Okay.
This says Switzerland has a roundabout in the shape of a giant turntable, and it is I would love to live on that cul-de-sac. Is that is true?
No, it's a roundabout. That's where you do a spin from one road to another road or to a couple.
Oh, you mean just the culturalized version of an Oakland sideshow where they just spin donuts over and over, spinning, spinning and spinning. All right, we're just gonna move on. I got dizzy. Classic art memes. Here we have an old painting of apparently two French guys, and one says, "Why do French eat snails?" And the other one says, "We don't like fast food."
Oh
I should have said that in
God.
French accent, but I couldn't conjure it up on time. So, we don't like fast food. Nope, that's terrible.
Mhm.
And then we got ADHD fans and a picture of somebody's hand with a whole pile of googly eyes. And it says, sometimes self-care means bulk ordering googly eyes with the intent to vandalize.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I've done that with people. It's brilliant.
Yes, yeah.
Dude, you hit like every hot sauce bottle in the whole restaurant. It's very fun.
See, so far I've only just trolled my students with it, but that's fun. I'm gonna try that. We got
Don't
geography maps, and it says Western cartoons be like, we have a picture of Africa. There's a red section, a yellow section, and a green section. It says red section. And fuck, since I can't scroll in, I'm gonna hopefully my magnifying glass is big
says,
enough for this.
let's go to Africa to see the wilderness.
And it's basically
Red.
all of Africa but Egypt and Madagascar.
Right. yellow, let's go to Egypt and see the pyramids. And green,
you like to move it, move it. You like to move it, move it.
fuck,
Move it.
so bad.
And this one's gonna be the last one for me on this round. I'm pretty sure this was the dark side of science. It says, found my new favorite unit of measurement, and it says the fossilized skull of you want to take that word? I might butcher this one, but it's the last Titan. I just see
Ooh.
Titan at the end.
The Lasso Titan. Yeah, that looks good.
Last
Hail,
Titan
Satan.
Atrox. For reference, this head is about the same size as Danny DeVito. And yes, found my new favorite form of measurement. Other than how many fucks I don't give. All right. Passing it right back to you, Michael. Oh, I rarely get to pass it to Michael, so that's pretty cool.
All right.
First,
Go. Oh yeah, yeah. Now I have to figure out how to share on this. Oh Jesus! Here we go. Let me see if I can do it this way.
everybody's making me feel so much better tonight. You guys are so sweet.
I'm on a new machine and whatnot. So somebody's gonna have to tell me who posted this. I can't read it.
Noxima Jackson at prime_B.
Yeah, at prime_B, friend of the show, says as soon as he started acting like his daddy, Diana snatched them jeans right back. And she reposed Kunk on Mars, who has the son of Diana versus the son of Charles. Is this Prince Harry? Is that who this is? TD?
Maybe.
This
TD, yeah.
is William. The one that looks like a big toe is William. The redheaded curly one is Harry.
Okay, so Prince William when he was young versus Prince William now that he's balding, and anyway,
British
now
people
he's his daddy's son. Now he's Charles' son. He's not Diana's son no more. Trash Can Paul, friend of the show, Trash Can Paul, making an early appearance in the show.
Yeah.
I have a picture of what would you call this? A field, a glen? What is this?
Looks like a waves of amber grain.
There you go.
Greenish.
And it says we are only 3 showers away from 2026.
God.
Hard to believe. I don't know where I stole this from, but it's just some crude drawing of somebody with headphones on, and it says, I'm fine as long as I don't think about the future, the past, or what's happening right now.
So say we all.
Men's Corner, friend of the show, Men's Corner, has a picture of just a sign on the side of the road. It says, why am I the only one naked at the gender reveal party? I only have a few more. What's this actor's name, TD? He played Hellboy.
This is Ron Perlman from the late 80s show Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, people forget this show even existed, man, but it's like one of my earliest TV show memories.
Wow.
And Liam Neeson, friend of the show, Liam Neeson says, I'm going to tell my grandkids this was Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's close. For our listeners, it's like if Ron Perlman dressed up as Marjorie Taylor Greene.
With that bad bitch body build. What was it?
Bad built butch body. I don't remember.
Bad built butch body. Bad built blonde.
Bleach blonde.
Butch body.
Bad built butch body. Yeah. Sean Mitchell. He tells us a little story here. One little tweet. He says, one time, I was late to practice and my coach made me run laps. My dad was the coach and he drove me to practice.
Right.
And my last meme for round 1, the wholesome round, comes from Jinx at JinxBB, who says he's got a picture of these little like sparkly I don't know what these are for.
Like jewelry bags.
Jewelry bag, gemstones, maybe something like that. And she just says, if I were a drug dealer, I would use these thingies. Covered in stars and stuff. And that's all I have for round one. Kicking it over to
Me.
Eric Sizemore.
Coming to me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. For the ostensibly wholesome round, round one.
Keeping it ostensible.
Keeping it ostensible. Keeping it Facebook. Trish at Ultra Gloss says, stretching my back isn't enough. I need to take out my spine and wring it out like a towel.
Hell yeah.
We all felt that one. Here we have a post from Ellen Walker, MA, RCA, at Ellen F. Walker. Says, you hate Scrappy Doo because he's mildly irritating. I hate Scrappy Doo because he shook hands with Ronald Reagan. We are not the same. I'm gonna let my the sound of my hatred sink in. Hey, because it is the wholesome round, I wanted to share this fun thingy. I'm just blown away by this. Tavern Gaming Guild's Rolando Mario Farias. And if you're not following the Tavern Gaming Guild and Rolando Mario Farias, you are missing out. Said, today in another chapter of Real People More Badass Than Many Fictional Characters. Yeah, something doesn't add up about that being a left hand. No idea, sorry. Anyway, this we see pictured here looks like an iron hand that a knight would wear. It looks like it's got jointed fingers, jointed thumb, and it slides onto, a stump. It's got a little belt on it. So it's the iron hand of Gotz van Barlicken, 1480 to 1562, a knight and mercenary who lost his right arm in a siege. So maybe they got the image flipped. Points about this: it was shot off by a cannon. He continued to be a knight for over 40 years after getting the iron hand. He was delicate enough he could still write with a quill using it, which is important as he was described as a warrior poet. And as a merchant, after a merchant punching life suitable for an Elder Scrolls protagonist, he was outlawed by the Holy Roman Empire. Friends of his used a high diplomacy role and a bribe to get him out, and then almost immediately he kidnapped a bishop. After the outlaw of the Holy Roman Empire, too, Electric Boogaloo was placed under house arrest in a castle he had purchased with all his quest rewards. He spent the next 20 years drunk off his ass. Hero and friend of the show, Sir Gotz van Berlichingen. That was for your wholesome round. The other 90% reminds us, I'd like to cancel my subscription to 2025. I've experienced the free 7-day trial, and I'm definitely not interested. So, yeah, and we're now at the 2-week trial, and yeah, go back. Girl du jour, and if you're not following Girl du jour, you are missing out. As a post from Kenzie Jumps, it says, sorry your human life didn't produce enough numbers in your number account. Even though we have the medicine and technology to help you, you lack the numbers and therefore did not earn care. America. Signed, America. Friend of the show, Paul Farver, says, Arby's is never as good as you imagine it to be. 9 years ago. Still true today. 6 years ago. Look at that. It's 9 years ago and 6 years ago. And today, 6 hours ago. Because Arby's. It's never as good as you imagine it to be. And since they canceled like the potato cakes, they're almost dead to me. Moving on, the Pumpkin Express. And if you're not following the Pumpkin Express, you are missing out. Picture of a playground here in the nice fall colors under a bit of fog. It says, I was the kid that told everyone on the playground, Ring Around the Rosie was about a plague. Yeah, it was me. Teddy's nodding like, I remember you. Got a couple more here. The best and worst of Twitter 2 making an appearance in round 1 with WBR at W_B_Rick says the TikTok vacuum getting filled by an app that's even more Chinese is unfortunately the funniest possible outcome here. Because Xiao Chongshu, also known as Red Note, has hit #1 on the US App Store following the news of a possible TikTok ban on January 19th. So there you go, TD. Just Google Xiao Chongshu, and also known as Red Note, and put Baking While Baked on Red Note on the #1 app in Shambana for Baking While Baked. Here's something for the wholesome round from last week, but I loved it. It's on Reddit. It says, how does a non-binary samurai kill people? They slash them. I still like it. I don't care. Read about an encounter. Well, I watched a video about David Bowie turning down musical gigs, turning down opportunities to work with people. Dave Grohl, huge fan, begged him and begged him and begged him. And Bowie was very polite. And at the end of the exchange, with a sharply definitive, all right, now that's settled, and fuck off. Which is, I think, pretty good way to close out this round, but I'm not going to do it. Feminist News reports that Canadian politicians are now threatening to take California, Washington, and Oregon, promising them free health care if they join as provinces of Canada. And I, for one, welcome our new Canadian overlords, eh? Bring it. Where do I sign, eh? Take me.
I'm already Canadian, so
I know, dude. I want to join your team. That is where I'm at.
I saw a reel that was like, "Hey Russia, here's Canada," and they said, "Here's the United States," and they were like outlining the United States, and then they got to Minnesota, and they went around Minnesota.
Like you do. Nice.
Oh, is it my turn again?
It's your turn again, Michael. I'm sorry.
Oh, I get so confused when I have problems. All right. I'll do more show. Is that what you want?
We do.
This lady says if I were a drug dealer, I would use these things. I'm just joking, guys.
Short-term memory problems. You may
Lucius, friend of the show, Lucius the Saint, at Lucius the Saint. He's got a picture of Don Draper, who's a little drunk, and he's getting ready to pitch something kind of wild and wacky. And he says, cigarettes, but they have protein in them.
Is that it?
All right, moving on. Aliyah Salem
Aliyah.
quit smoking for good. Now I smoke for #evil.
Oh, I should have thought of that.
This is my friend of the show, and just honestly, I probably simp for this guy. Derek Guy at Die Workwear. He's reposted Sky Sports Premier League, who has Roy Keane on here, and Derek says, nice outfit, but tie knot should be bigger. And Jesus, this tie knot is so fucking massive.
Yeah, you know why they didn't show the bottom of that tie? Because the back of it's all the way down to his crotch, and it's...
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm pretty sure I cropped it off, to be honest.
Too much tie.
Puppy Kate at this_is_Kate has retweeted Brock at Brockamole, who's thumbs downing one of those Lego cars in real life, the Tesla truck.
Mm-hmm.
Brock says, stupid block of metal almost hit me, and he's thumbsing him down. Puppy Kate says, a thumbs down is always more effective than a middle finger, by the way. And I've got to tell you, I've been thumbsing down drivers since I started driving.
Mm-hmm.
And deeply, deeply effective.
Wow.
The only time it backfired was one time this woman cut me off, and she had a car filled with children. And as I drove by her, I thumbs her down.
Mm.
And then she sped past me, and she was thumbsing me down with both hands. and she had every single child in that car also thumbsing me down with 2 hands and fucking cooked me. Like, dude, I was honestly, I don't even really remember what she did wrong because it was so overshadowed by what she did right.
Yeah. Well, game. Good.
I was like, she got the kids involved, man.
Yeah, they were excited too. Like, yeah, let's get him.
Minor AOE 0102 shares this picture. It's kind of a blurry picture of a guy crouching on a basketball court, maybe. Then there's a lot of text. It says, imagine if teeth were flaccid and got hard when you were hungry. That would be so tough. Like your mom asks if you want something to eat and you say no, but she sees your teeth are hard and she says, don't lie. Look how hard you are for mommy.
Oh, God.
And then she gives you some food. That would be so tough. Minor just says, whatever, man. Hopes, hoping. At hopes_revenge.
Well, that's a lot of hope.
The only thing I want to say is there's like weird spaces in between these words in this sentence for some reason. And it says kitten, Venmo, daddy. He is overdrafted. It's just not usually how dom sub relationships work. Moving on.
Yeah.
No lie with that Brian Tyler Coed. So evidently he says the Carter Center has shared a new photo from President Carter's funeral with Trump covered by a pillar. And if you look at this picture, sure enough, it starts with President Barack Obama. Trump is just not in this picture.
Yeah.
That's how I'd have shot it.
Yeah.
I have one more for this round. It comes from the notorious JOV at Who the Fuck is Jovanna, friend of the show. And it's a picture of Paris Hilton.
Yep.
And she's looking over her shoulders. This is circa like 2003, maybe 2005. And it just says cunt son, hormoon, and bitch rising. Fuck yes. And that's all I have for round 2. Kicking it over to brain damage.
All right. Oh, what the fuck is happening? Okay, we're gonna
Don't
stop.
blame yourself. It's okay when you have technical difficulties. We all understand.
Yeah, we do. And it
It was
makes
not supposed to happen that way.
so much better. So
All right.
It happens to everybody sometimes.
That was a spoiler for round 3, I guess. Awesome. Hey, motherfucker, move out of my way. Awesome inventions. Here we have a cardboard castle with cutout tops and everything. It says, my wife called me immature, so I banned her from my cardboard fort. Winning!
Oh, shit.
Nice.
That thing is so fucking cool. I want to
It
go
is
in
cool.
right now.
That's awesome.
Here we have the Refractor Files, and we have a parody of the Boondock Saints movie poster, and it is Soundwave from the Decepticons, and god damn it, I just looked up this guy's name. But the boombox from the Autobots holding their guns, and it's called the Boombox Saints. Thy kingdom come till all are one. And that thing is fucking cool. And now I have to rewatch the Boondock Saints because I haven't seen it in a while.
That was a good one.
And then All Hell Megatron posted a picture of a customized gun that has a Decepticon label on it. Right? And then it says, could never, the weird thing about customized guns is you could never use it for anything other than self-defense. Cops. Can you give me a description? Me. Some random nondescript scuzzy meth head. But Megatron was with him. Ron Wilford posted a picture of Charlie Brown looking out of the window at the snow with his hands behind his back, wondering, and says, "Gotta ask my mama if she could still slap me into next week. I need my check early."
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
My lovely wife, Diane Lopez, posted animal memes, and it says, "Thank you for calling 80ND." And it's "Thank you for calling Kitty IT. How may I help you today?" And it is a cat that his fur looks like a headset. And so he's talking, he says, "Right. Uh-huh. Ah, I see. Have you tried pushing it off the counter?"
Nice.
This one I posted some time back, and it is the crying Jordan meme holding 100 different Uno cards, and he draw a Uno card that says "Stop buying hats" or "Draw 25 cards," and it says me. This is my life. I just keep buying more hats, more hats. Somebody named Red Squirrel posted a picture of a bunch of commas and then a chameleon, and it says, "Boy George sings, comma, 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 chameleon."
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna move on. Star Wars 24/7 posted a picture of a bus stop poster with Darth Vader's picture on it. And it says, "A guy can only be called Annie so many times before he snaps." That's an Anakin Skywalker joke. And this one says NFL LOLs posted this, but I actually got the real tweeter. It was somebody named Swan at Andy Swan. They have a picture of John Jones and says, "Hear me out. A Netflix series where MMA champions go undercover to Eagle games wearing the opponent's team's jersey. That would be fun." Or would it not? I don't think it would. And I'm pretty sure this one's the last one for me for round 2. It's Frankenstein Jones with a picture of a T-Rex squatting down. And it says, "By farting into holes in the sand, the T-Rex could force food to the surface."
Fuck.
I don't believe this.
And yet I still love it.
Also,
Yeah.
for the record, I saw the video that Philadelphia Eagles meme was about. And for our listeners, I want you to know the people who were accosted by the Philadelphia fans were rooting for the Green Bay Packers. So I'm supposed to feel what exactly?
I think
Oh,
they're
called
just
her a
saying
bad
there's
word.
a fight at a Philly game every week.
Yeah, it went viral this week because somebody called somebody a bad word. But the somebody who got called the bad word was rooting for the Packers. They're calling themselves a bad word.
Yeah.
I am delightfully lost and taking over.
Yeah.
Round
We
two.
don't feel sorry for Wisconsin people. Ever.
The irreverent round.
Correct.
The irreverent round brought to you by Guillotine Life. Guillotine Life. Clothing that would look good with everything that TD wears. Guillotine Life.
Also, TD, we need to talk about wrestling.
Right on. I want to do
Twist
this.
okay, yeah, twist my arm.
Missed out on a wholesome round. This is a little quote from Francis Bacon. It says, "It's not what we eat, but what we digest that makes us strong. Not what we gain, but what we save that makes us rich. Not what we read, but what we remember that makes us learned. Not what we profess, but what we practice that gives us integrity." And I saw this and thought, Bacon.
I'm gonna listen to a guy named Francis. Get a real fucking name, Francis.
Dude, he's talking about eating bacon. Like, and I'm like, this guy sounds like a pioneer. This guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Plus, look at that collar. No dummy could pull off that collar. It looks like a complicated thing to put on. Moving on, anti-QAnon memes. Joe Kleinschmidt, friend of the show, making a second appearance in the show, says, after a tragic fire at McDonald's, Ronald remained untouched. And if you look here, look, this burned out McDonald's here, collapsed roof, signs gone, windows are busted out. But Ronald is sitting right there on the bench outside, unscathed. And it says, after a tragic fire at McDonald's, Ronald remained untouched. Please explain how you can not believe in Ronald after seeing this.
Oh my god.
Dave Hester says, damn, ice cream machine's still not working, and now the fryer doesn't either. Here we have a 4-panel cartoon from Marjorie Cohn with the tangerine toddler in a blue suit and patented red tie that droops below the frame. Reporter asks, are you changing grocery prices? He says, we're changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico. What about grocery prices? We're making Canada the 51st state. Grocery prices? We're invading Greenland. How about just eggs? We're taking the Panama Canal. Pretty much. Here we have God at the tweet of God saying, you know, the idea that you evolved from apes is disgusting. Isn't it nicer to believe you all descended from one couple and their incestuous children?
I'm from Arkansas, brother. So
boats land on top of mountains and people get out and fuck each other all the time.
I recently heard a comedian talking about the most incestuous states, like the most like that have relatives getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, number 1 and number 2, New York and California.
They're so big. So many cousins. So many cousins. All right. That was rough. Purple Potato Eater, and if you're not following Purple Potato Eater, you are missing out. Purple Potato Eater with a little hammer and sickle icon at kootenannymarxist.bluesky.social has this little 3-panel cartoon of we got a guy touching a flower and smelling a flower and hugging a woman in a field of flowers. And it says, like a cool breeze on a hot summer day, touching grass is not enough. I need horrible things to happen to powerful people.
Here, here.
Well, yeah, every day. That's what I pray to my gods of war for. As you probably heard, Zuckerberg announced new measures to increase hate speech on Facebook. They're going to do away with fact checking, as we've all known, and they're going to implement AI bots that will have profiles and be able to talk to you and post crap. So completely flooding the field with shit. So once they fired the fact checkers and announced that they were bending the knee to the tangerine toddler, with just, I mean, everybody knew what they were doing. Everybody knew they're just kissing his butt. Immediately,
It's also his demographic, yo. Like, Facebook is just Fox News watchers and you. That's it.
Dude, I'm thrilled, but you're over on Twitter, so
I'm not. I had to leave Twitter.
I'll bet.
I'm on fucking LinkedIn.
I know, the weirdest porn site ever. Anyway,
We all have kinks.
but Zuckerberg, and I thought it was really funny because after he bent over backwards to kiss Trump's ass, people were referring to him as Cuckerberg, and I thought that was pretty good. So, and it resulted in a slew of things like this. Business news: Facebook founder and convicted pedophile Mark Zuckerberg, dead at 36, says social media sites should not fact check posts. Subcaption: Zuckerberg, who died of coronavirus and complications from syphilis at his home near Facebook headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska, says it's not Facebook's role to check facts. This is from friend of the show, Joda Mitchell, and she says this is 100% true.
Wow.
Here we have a real Mark Zuckerberg quote. Picture of Zuckerberg from The Chaser says, "I killed Jeffrey Epstein, but I still miss him every day." Mark Zuckerberg. You know, this one I think is funny because it's true. And here we have a picture of a Cybertruck on fire in the ocean somehow, with a picture of Zuckerberg with a couple of beers, and it says, "Cybertruck's battery failure started the fires in Los Angeles. Elon Musk lost over $3 billion in company shares." And when I saw this, I realized that the cause of all the fires in in Southern California is from Mark Zuckerberg's Cybertruck.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's, you know, you hate to be the bearer of bad news, but wow, what an asshole. Facebook CEO and known hentai addict Mark Zuckerberg caught performing lewd sex acts with a dog on a hiking trail.
Disappointing. Disappointing.
Well, what struck me was the comments saying things like, "I'm glad this is happening." Like, really? Intersectional, friend of the show, says actual footage of Mark Zuckerberg assassinating United Health CEO Brian Thompson. And if you look at the hoodie, if you look at the hoodie in this and you look at the headline, I mean, seems legit to me, I gotta say. And finally, closing it out with my my post that's fourth from the most. Mark Zuckerberg, recipient of the world's first rat penis transplant, announces Meta will stop fact checking. You know, and I mean, on the one side, you know, I knew that rat penis transplant technology had come a long way. But anyway, pretty cool. And I did hear that Elon Musk had tried to amp up the rat penis, and that he was making a cyber dick. It's a rat cyber dick, but it also tends to catch fire and may have sparked off, well, probably did spark off all of the Southern California fires. So Zuckerberg's cyber dick sparks. That's the story. Closing out my irreverent round, round two, handing it back to you, Michael, for your penultimate round.
That's right, Eric. Kicking off round three, the penultimate round. We have Evan Loves Wharf, friend of the show. He's retweeting Pop Base. Pop Base says Donald Trump announces he intends to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Evan says, "This must hit so hard if you're stupid." Men's Corner's back. Here we have a couple in therapy. The therapist says, "Your wife says you never buy her flowers. Is that true?" The husband says, "To be honest, I never knew she sold flowers." Midwest versus everybody. At
Hey.
Midwestern_Ope, friend of the show, voice of a culture.
Yeah.
And a picture of the painting of the guy, the working class guy standing up to say something bravely in a crowd, maybe a town hall.
It's a Norman Rockwell painting, yes. Very fair.
And Midwest versus everybody says, "It wouldn't be so bad without the wind." TD, I may need you to turn on your mic and help me out with some of the names of these characters.
Hard.
That is Dragonite.
Dragonite. And there's some kind of a lobster thing.
Crawfish.
Okay. And then Pikachu.
Yeah.
Dragonite is sitting just sitting in this very beautiful anime like nature landscape, sitting in some water. And it says unbothered, moisturized, happy, in my lane, focused, flourishing. First comment says Pikachu is drowning. And if you look, Pikachu does look to be drowning. The original poster says, this ain't about him. Trash can Paul's back. This time with a graphic drawing titled How Toilet Water Splashed Into My Mouth This One Time. And it looks like this person sitting on the toilet. The turd hits the water, generating the splash that comes up between the shitter's legs,
Oh my.
I believe, directly into the shitter's mouth.
Oh.
And Octopus Caveman at Octopus Caveman has a picture of Ice-T from whatever fucking show he's on. And he looks really confused. He's wearing a suit and he says, the kids are calling it diarrhea. It's like pee-pee, but it's poo-poo. And one more meme for round 3, the penultimate round, comes from Moist Buddha, friend of the show, keeping it moist, keeping it Buddha, retweeting Husky Dave Grohl at Saul Malone. Some guy. It's called Johnny Bravo. It's about a 30-year-old guy who still lives at home with his mom. His best friend is a child who lives next door, and his only goal is trying to get laid. It's for kids. Cartoon Network exec ripping a line of coke. Fuck yes, dude, make it. And that's all I have for round 3. Round, leaving only my post with the most back to brain damage.
All right. Okay, let's see. All right, I guess I hit share a little too early. My bad. Let's try again. All right. Here we've got Rate My Plate. Posted, I tried to make heart-shaped cookies and I ended up with shaved balls. And if you see that platform is definitely hard, but those cookies came out warped and bally. Bally's not a word, but maybe it's a place. I don't know. Teo Lane posted my body at 3 a.m. Let's wake up for no reason. My body 10 minutes before the alarm. Let's make him feel more comfortable than he's ever felt in his life.
Oh, shit.
Mm.
When TD says I feel called out by the memes, oh my God, okay. Gaming Lair and Puns puts, it's true. The word Q is ironic. It's just a queue with a bunch of silent letters waiting in line.
It's true.
And then here we've got Mommy Memes posted, I hate spelling errors. You mix up 2 letters and your whole post is urined. TD, I might need your help on this one. Comic Comedy Club posted they upgraded him, and we have a picture of Mark Zuckerberg, and it's hashtag C3PO's hashtag Mark Zuckerberg and hashtag AI. That is not C3PO. That's the one from Spaceball.
That's Dot Matrix, voiced by Joan Rivers in Spaceballs. Yes.
Yes, and
Wow.
but that is pretty funny. I was pretty mad when I was like, how did they get there? I just didn't remember the name from Spaceballs, but I knew it was. I didn't realize it was voiced by Joan Rivers, though. Now I got to go watch Spaceballs again. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely going on the list.
The Bailey Lavender posted a picture of the lady, the old Rose from Titanic, and it says, "Do you keep your money in your bank or at home?" And it says, "Me in my memories."
Oh shit.
Gaming Layer put all the time, and we have a picture of SpongeBob around all his fish friends, and he looks like he's getting Thanos right. Thanos snapped right out of the Spongeverse, and it says when you accidentally refresh a page, and that one meme you wanted to show everyone is sent to the abyss,
Yeah.
and everyone's crying.
Damn, the page refreshes itself sometimes. You just open
Right,
the perfect meme,
right.
and then it fucking refreshes. Jesus.
And especially if I don't get the screenshot 2 buttons right, oh man, it's out.
Right.
Here we've got it says Aliyah Janine, I think. And it says, "Hey, look, a shooting star." It has two drawings of two guys, and one's pointing up into the sky, and in the second panel they have their hands up. And the goddamn show your stuff or whatever, so show your support and gift this and all those little fucking things got in my way, but you can see that star has a gun and he is very angry. He's a different kind of shooting star. He says, "Hands up, motherfuckers!" And here we have Axolotl World posted a drawing of an axolotl with a battle axe in its hand, and it says, "I'm an axolotl bastards."
Nice.
And this one's gonna do it for me. Sunset Heaven put I cooked deer for dinner and didn't tell the kids. I gave them a clue. "It's what your mother calls me." My son yelled, "It's a fucking dick, don't eat it." Passing it off to you, Eric, leaving just the post of the most.
Nice, nice. All right, heading into the.
See how we started with balls and ended with dick? You like how I did that there, right?
I did. I liked where Michael started with a map, so I wanted to get a map too. Here we have the Gulf of Fragile Masculinity, posted again in anti-QAnon memes by a friend of the show, Boris P. Jr. And that really summed it up, man. So stupid. Brandon Beecham, who's actually a friend of ours and a comedian, but he doesn't use that name online, and a really cool one too, by the way. He's posted Harry Revolutionary at Ross Call 89474735. Says capitalism is where you build enough bombs to blow up the entire world, but you can't put out forest fires. It was like, oh man, that's true. We do have some cool stuff there. Hey, 3 years ago, back in 2022, I posted this from the Marvel universe. Jesse McLaren says, "Me watching any Marvel movie after Endgame. Wait, so society is expected to just carry on as if this insane collective trauma never happened? That's ridiculous." Me in 2022. Oh. Oh, got it. Best and worst of Twitter 2, friend of the show. And if you're not following the best and worst of Twitter 2, you are missing out. As a post from Stalin Chazali, who has just average Joe at Jizz in My Pants, says, "What if you had to have sex every day during pregnancy to keep building the baby?" And then Just 59 replies with the same man. Average Joe's like, "Wow, that's a great question. Maybe if you mix it up, you can combine genes like a Build-A-Bear." I liked it. Here's a 4-panel from 3 years ago that's pretty true today. We have a cartoon from Depressed Alien Com. It says, "The air hurts my face. Why am I living where the air hurts my face?" And then there's a picture of an enormous spider on a wall and a woman trying to trap it with a bucket. And it says, "This is why I live where the air hurts my face." And then we have 2 more panels. One is with a snake who's over the doorknob saying, "This is why I live with it. The air hurts my face." And lastly, a crocodile at the front door trying to ring the doorbell. "This is why I live where the air hurts my face." And no kidding, outside right now, it's a blistering 3 degrees Fahrenheit in East Central Illinois. And having a good time. Friend of the show, Nathan Danger Lutz at What Fuckery Is This? Has reposted J. Catherine Davis, who says, maybe Universal Basic Income, UBI, is just a subscription fee the billionaires need to pay us so we won't riot. Broken Lady 1969 says, anti-revolution insurance, you say? And yeah, that's what it is, Elon. That's what you need to give us, Elon. Mike Scollins, writer for Late Night with Seth Meyers. Mike Scollins says, I don't want to make a broad generalization, but if you have to admit it's at least interesting that everyone who likes Elon Musk is the biggest loser you've ever met. And that was on 11/22, but it's got like 15,000 retweets. And Scollins replies, wow, this really blew up. I feel like one of his cars. My second most popular post with the most is Leftist CEO at Leftist CEO, highlighting paying 20% of your paycheck to insurance equals good, capitalist, affordable. Paying just 4% of your paycheck to Medicare equals bad, communist, too expensive. Americans really are the most propagandized people in the world.
Yep,
And
yep.
that is
Yep.
true, and posted in Jesus Republicans and Other Bullshit. If you're not following Jesus Republicans and Other Bullshit, where are you getting your Jesus Republicans and Other Bullshit? The best and worst of Twitter 2, making another appearance here with a post from Alex Scott Harrogate at who has a verified post from Che, Chey, at I Wish Eurosexo. Says, I looked back during doggy style and he waved.
He's the wrong one.
You know, sometimes you need more than just a weighted blanket, Michael. Feminist News had this post on January 6th. Caitlin Collins was interviewing J.D. Vance. And Caitlin Collins on CNN says, so you agree that people who break in and vandalize a building should be prosecuted? And J.D. Vance says, yes. And Collins says, okay, I'm just checking because you helped raise money for people who did on January 6th. He was talking about those campus protesters. You know, those campus protesters with their vandalizing and walking into buildings, they ought to be prosecuted.
But they didn't take a shit on the floor. So
yeah. Bust into, you know, yeah, exactly.
that cancels it out.
Unless they shit.
Yeah.
You must have quit. Moving on, 2 years ago, I love this, man. Had a tweet from Nick Toretta at elastic_music. And it's a conversation between his son and his father. Son says, I can't sleep. I think the bougie man's under my bed. Me, don't you mean the boogeyman? Voice from under the bed. Wow, the thread count on these sheets is pathetic. Posted in the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff. So apparently they got good memes in that church. This one was sent to us by TD just to taunt Michael and I. It says Black Flag and Misfits tattoos are just live, laugh, love signs for grumpy old hardcore and punk dudes.
I hate that.
I hate how excited TD is. He's like high-fiving himself.
I damn near pissed myself when I found that. I was like, I have to share with those two.
Stop. You know, we still had some Christmas leftovers, and this one's from Lauren Bonecutter back on December 27th, who's reposted Ryan X. Dusek, who says, when people say that Jesus was actually born on Christmas Day, I have to laugh. because there's no way a Capricorn is sacrificing themselves for all of humankind's sin. I was really hoping the astrologers would be on this show. They're more fun that way. Friend of the show, Jay Sukow, has reposted Lincoln Michael at the Lincoln, who says, this quote really feels like it epitomizes the moment. The people who think they are oppressed. And it's a quote in the Financial Times. It says, I feel liberated, said a top banker. We can say retard and pussy without the fear of getting canceled. It's a new dawn. It's like, isn't that great? The people who think they're oppressed are top bankers who can't say just any slurs at work anymore. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so yeah, we're living in weird times. Here's a picture from CBS News. Hero of the show, Saint Luigi, in his courtroom attire, sweater with white collar poking out, posted in the National Strategic stockpile of memes and satire. It's just a headline saying thousands of Los Angeles homeowners were dropped by their insurers before the Palisades fire. We used to have Luigi going, Come on, man. My collar matches this guy in the shot. I need more than this. Here's a conversation that says, well, what do you do when you're sad? And the responder says, post memes. Says, but you're always posting memes. Yes. Friend of the show, Stalin Chazali, again. Wow, Stalin Chazali, 2 in one show. I didn't even realize I liked him that much, but great friend of the show. Has this post from James with little Monty and Muscaria mushroom, the little red ones with the white spots on it, at Don't Touch James. And we enter the scene, and it says in brackets, having sex. Her, talk to me, you're too quiet. Me, thanks for doing this. Thank you, and that wraps up my penultimate round, leading only my post with the most. Back to you, Michael.
All right, here we go. Kicking off the final round, my post with the most comes to us from the _ philosopher. I guess it does just say philosopher. Philosopher. Oh, it does. It switches the one. Jesus, that really tricked my brain.
That was good.
Listen, I don't know why this was. Actually, I do know why this was my post with the most. It's because everybody who follows me is an alcoholic. But it says spirituality beginner, and there's like some chakras, there's some tarot cards, there's some gemstones.
I think that's Chinese astrology.
What's the thing at the bottom? Some kind of astrology thing at the bottom. That's the spirituality for beginners. Spirituality advanced is a cup of coffee and a cigarette. And the only thing that would make this better would be if the cup was styrofoam. I think it's the only thing.
You could see that big metal container in the basement of the church.
Yeah, if you knew you were in like a AA meeting somewhere. But that's it for my post with the most. What was you?
I love it because now I get to pose as a advanced spiritualist at this.
Philosopher.
That's funny because I threw away a meme today that had one of those spirituality calendars at the bottom that we didn't know what it was called, and the guy was just like, no, none for me, thanks. I'll actually take responsibility for my bullshit. All right, post with the most. Who's that? Oh, my lovely wife, Diane. 2 in one night. 2 in one night.
Love you, Diane.
She posted. Look at that. Exactly 7 years ago, January 14th, she posted a post of D.L. Hughley that shows hashtag fuck you now, hashtag fuck you forever, and hashtag Team DL. And we have a picture of Octavia Spencer as Mindy in The Help. And she has a pie, and it says, Mr. Trump, I baked a pie for your inauguration party. And if you know that movie, that is a shit pie. That is a shit pie.
What movie?
The Help.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
She baked a pie for her the people she worked for when she was quitting, and she put her shit in it, and
Wow.
she waited until they were like, "This pie was delicious." She was like, "I'm glad you like that special ingredient."
Oh God. That's
I
so
couldn't handle
good.
my own shit. Not even for
Yeah.
retribution.
I only know about that movie because of my beautiful wife Diane, and she told me about that shit pie. And I started a thing called the Shit Nation with one of my best friends back in like 1995, and so yeah.
Dude, and I hate to tell you this, but as a big believer in jinxing things, Michael, you are now going to have to deal with handling your own shit. It's going to come
No,
up
I'm
in
not.
your life. You will. You'll get a prescription from your doctor. He's like, I'm gonna need you to piss in this cup and poop in this bucket.
Got to put these kids to bed. I'm not touching poop. Death before dishonor.
All right, my post with the most, rounded it out. My most popular post. As it turns out, this image affects Tesla stocks negatively, so we really shouldn't be sharing it as much as possible. It's the Tesla on fire at the Trump Hotel in Vegas. And that is my post with the most. Wrapping up an episode of Facebook for the Blind for January 14th, 2025 at 9:58. Michael, kiss my ass. Love you, Beverly. Love you all.
Thanks for listening to an episode of Facebook for the Blind. Follow us
Love
on
you,
Facebook,
Beverly.
Twitter, and Instagram.